Hey, it's Maria Lloyd, author of a book titled Words Are Wealth and Chief Marketing Officer over at Black with No Chaser. Welcome to my channel. I know it has been a while since I posted one of these videos. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. I'm still in South Africa. Of course, you all know how much I love this country, how much I love the people, how much I love the culture. So that's nothing new. So I am still here, loving this country, every ounce of it, every bit of it, even with some of the challenges that I've experienced over the past couple of months. But anyway, it's been so long since I've done one of these videos. I was actually like, what do I even say? I don't even remember how to do like a YouTube video anymore. But I think what I want to do this time around is keep it light and fun and kind of talk about some of the culture shocks that I've experienced. Now, just for a bit of context, I've been traveling in and out of South Africa since 2015. So, my first time coming to this country, I was managing the career of an academic at the time, and that individual was invited to speak at UNISA in Pretoria. And that was my first introduction to the country, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And yeah, so despite, coming in and out of this country over a 10 plus year span, there still are some things now that I'm here over a prolonged period of time that are very surprising for me. And so I actually want to share some of those things with you. But before I do that, I want to first and foremost ask that you please like and subscribe, to this channel. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. As I said, I am going to get back into a routine of sharing content. A lot of the content will be centered around my life in South Africa, navigating being an immigrant. I know that sometimes Americans have a tendency to say that we're expats, but in fact, we are immigrants who are here in this country. So I want to kind of document that experience and, of course, talk business too. You all know your girl is a businesswoman. So yes, there will be content that is focusing on how to make money and so on and so forth. But for now, I'm going to keep it light and fun. Actually, I do want to pivot and just say that Monday, March the 30th, I am very excited to share that I am speaking on a discussion hosted by Proudly South African. And the discussion is going to be about the shift in consumer behavior. My session specifically will be about social media influence and behavioral shifts in the way that social media, people are purchasing from social media. So I want to invite you to please join that discussion. Again, that's Monday, March the 30th. It's going to take place at 1500. For those of you who are tuning in from the States, that's 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. And again, for folks in South Africa, that is 3 p.m. in the afternoon or 1500. So with that being said, I'll be sharing the links and all of that stuff, but I do want to keep it light and fun and just kind of go over some of the culture shocks since I've been here. So one of the culture shocks for me is, even though a lot of the people that I engage with speak English, the way that we use the English language is totally different. And it's actually very funny. So for example, instead of saying, so in the States, if someone is flying into the airport, you will say, oh, do you want me to come and get you? You want me to come get you at the airport? Well, in South Africa, the correct way to express the same thing is to say, I'll come and fetch you. And so I had to get used to that, like, interesting, come and fetch me. Okay. So another thing in the States that we would say is, I'll come pick you up. So again, it's the same thing, but we're expressing the same thing and the same intent, but it's just expressed differently. So in the States, we'll say, I'll come pick you up. I'll come and get you. In South Africa, on the other hand, they will say, I'll fetch you. Do you need me to fetch you? So that's one thing that was a bit of a shock for me. The second thing is, I scheduled a meeting with a colleague and I said, yeah, we'll meet at noon. And he said, okay, great. So noon in the US means 12 o'clock. Okay, so if I tell someone, hey, let's meet at noon, that means 12 p.m. We are meeting at 12 p.m. What I did not know is in South Africa, noon is more vague. Noon is pretty much the afternoon in general, right? Generally speaking. So it can be 12 o'clock, it can be 1 o'clock, it can be 2 o'clock. And so when I showed up to the venue at 12 o'clock, and then I waited for about 15 minutes, and I'm like messaging the colleague, like, hey, are you still coming? And they were like, well, I thought we agreed on noon. And I was like, well, yeah, it's already like a quarter past noon. And they were like, well, no, actually, I mean, I thought that I had another 45 minutes or so. And that's when I realized, like, oh, snap, like we tell time differently too. Again, in the States, if someone says noon, that's 12 o'clock. In South Africa, it's a little bit more broad. It's a little more vague. It can be 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, so on and so forth. So that's another thing that has been a culture shock for me, just in terms of us using the same language to express ourselves, but we're using it differently, right? And then another thing is, like in the States, if you are saying something that requires etc., right? So for example, if I want to say something like, yeah, so for like Halloween, people get their candy, their costume, and they go to the Halloween parties and so on and so forth, or blah, blah, blah. Like that's kind of like the ellipses, right? The three dots, like dot, dot, dot. But in South Africa, what is said is what. So it'll be like, okay, well, you get your candy, you get your costumes, you go to your party, what. And it's so funny. I actually love the South African accent. Like I know that I get a lot of compliments when people hear me speak, and I really appreciate you all for that. I don't know why it still startles me every time I hear someone say, I love your accent. But I do appreciate that compliment. But I want you to know that Americans also love your accent. And I'm speaking specifically to South Africans. We love the way you all say yes. So you, in my opinion, if I was trying to imitate the way that a South African would say the word yes, it's yes. And we just say it totally different, right? And so we love your accent. So again, going back to like our use of blah, blah, or so on and so forth, you all actually say, and when I say you all, I'm referring to South Africans, you all say what, which again, I think is very cute, very funny, and I absolutely love the accent. Another word that is used differently. So we oftentimes will say like, hey, let me check my calendar to see if I'm available on that day. And I've noticed here what is used in lieu of calendar is the word diary. So it'll be like, oh, well, I'll check my diary and see if I'm available on that date. Some people, I've heard a couple of native South Africans use the word calendar, but for the most part, I normally hear people say my diary, which is, again, for me, a diary is like something that you write in to express your deepest thoughts, and it's very private between you, yourself, and you. And so, it's just interesting how we're saying the same thing, but we're expressing it differently, and we're all using the same language in that process. Another thing that has been interesting for me in this, journey of like living in this country is the use of the word robot. Okay, in the States, when you are driving and you approach a traffic light, you'll tell someone, hey, I'm at the light. Okay, and then they know that is a shortened version of the words traffic light. So yeah, hey, I'm at the light. I'll be there in just a moment. I'm at the light. Well, here, the correct word is the robot. I'm at the robot, which I don't know. This one, for some reason, still trips me out. I mean, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Maybe you all can explain to me in the comments, like, why do you refer to the traffic light as a robot? That is so different. But yeah, I would say that those are like the common phrases that are like, again, we're saying the same thing, but we're expressing it totally different. And it's just been a really cool experience, being able to observe this, being able to connect with South Africans, being able to really understand the culture even more on a deeper level than I have in years past. I have started a business here locally. I will share more about that in a separate video. But like I mentioned, I know it's been a while. I don't want to make this video super long. I just wanted to tap in real quick and let you all know this is basically a proof of life video. I'm doing great. I mean, things, of course, have not been perfect, but I can honestly say that life is grand. I'm the happiest I've been in a very long time. And I have to attribute that to the warmth and the hospitality that has been shared with me here in this beautiful country of South Africa. So as I always say, thank you all for having me here. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for helping me as I navigate life as an immigrant. Again, I really appreciate you all. And yeah, be on the lookout for some more content coming soon. Peace.